Welcome to another screencast here in Phuket PALS. And this is me, Teacher Marco. I will help you today with your GED RLA, particularly on the elements of fiction. I will not talk about every elements of fiction, but I will just focus on one, which is characterization. If you haven't catch the earlier videos about the other elements of fiction, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel and check out our videos. So let's begin. So of course, when reading fiction, um, it is important to be familiar with the personality or character of the people within the story. And this is what we will talk about today. Okay? Some writers will usually describe the character um, in a very explicit way. All right. And that is what we should term as direct presentation. So the writers tell us straight out by exposition or analysis that the characters are like, or what the characters are like, or they have another character in the story to describe them. So, for example, one character by the name of John is describing Robert. So he might say that Robert is a very kind person. He was able to help me. So that is direct presentation. We can easily identify the character of Robert because John was able to describe the character of Robert. Okay, while for indirect presentation, the author shows us the characters through their actions. We determine what they are like by what they say or do. So, for example, a student by the name of Anna is borrowing from Ruby. Uh, Maybe Anna is borrowing a notebook or some notes from Ruby, and then Ruby suddenly, you know, shouted that, "Oh, I didn't bring my notes. You should have copied in the first place." So, with that, we can elicit that Ruby is a rude person or selfish or somehow, yeah, yeah, rude. Okay. So, we judge the character of Ruby based on her actions. So no one told us that Ruby was is rude, okay? So we just try to use what we saw or what we have read, okay, based on the dialogue and the actions of the said character. Okay. Now, there are also different types of characters. We have flat characters. Now, these characters have only one or two predominant traits. They can be summed up in a sentence or two. So, usually in short stories, you will see this kind of character because the plot of the story is not that long for the character to be dynamic, okay, which is what we will describe later. So maybe the character is somehow quiet and kind. So maybe we can only describe that character with two traits, two predominant traits. And for round characters, these are these are complex and they somehow imitate real life people or real people. Okay, so they have many characters, and somehow it's like they act like real people. Okay, or the author designed these characters to be to have this multi personality or multi trait. Static characters, based from the name itself, remains essentially the same person from the beginning of the story to the end, so meaning they never change. Okay, and usually these are supporting characters. They're not the main character. Imagine having a main character with uh, or having a protagonist with a static character, right? So that story would be very boring. And we have dynamic characters or developing. So they undergo some changes in the character and personality. So the change may be a large or a small one, and it may be positive or negative. So there. Um, I hope that you will remember these terminologies. You might encounter them on your GED RLA test, specifically when you're handling reading questions. So, these terminologies are something that you should know. And I hope that I was able to help you today. And if you want to know more about our program and know more about us, teachers, please go ahead and check us on our website. That's PhuketPals.org. Or you can also visit our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/PhuketPals. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you again on the next video. Bye bye.